Hi everyone, I hope you are having an amazing day. If you are new here, I help software testers to grow their career, crack interviews, and become confident automation testers. In today's video, we are going to discuss about the complete roadmap from switching manual to automation testing. If that sounds interesting, let's get started.
The biggest mistake manual testers make, the first mistake most manual testers make is saying, I need to master JavaScript before I start automation. No, that's completely wrong. That's like saying, I need to become a Formula One driver before learning how to drive a car. You don't need to know advanced programming. You only need to know enough programming to automate your test cases. Think about it as a manual tester. You already know how to write a test cases, how to identify bugs, how applications behave, how to validate functionalities. These are the skills that developers don't always have. You are already 70% there, and automation is simply adding coding to your testing knowledge. Step 1. Master manual testing first. Before touching any automation tool, become strong in manual testing. Why? Because automation doesn't replace testing knowledge. Automation amplifies testing knowledge. You should be comfortable with test case design, bug reporting, SDLC, STLC, functional testing, regression testing, and smoke testing. Let me give you an example. Suppose I ask you to automate a login feature. If you don't know what should be tested in login functionality, how will you automate it? That's why strong manual testing fundamentals are your foundation. Step 2. Learn basic JavaScript. Now comes the scary part, coding. And trust me, I was also scared too. The first time I saw JavaScript code, I thought maybe automation isn't for me. But I was wrong. I started with small concepts like variables, arrays, functions, loops, conditions, objects, async and await. Nothing fancy or nothing advanced I learned, just enough to understand automation. For example, imagine checking 100 users manually. That would take a lot of time, but with a simple loop, you can validate all 100 usernames automatically. That's where the automation starts becoming powerful. Step 3. Learn HTML and locators. This is where many beginners struggle. And honestly, this is where I struggle too. Because automation tools don't interact with the screen, they interact with the web elements. That's why I learned HTML, ID, class, name, XPath, CSS selectors. Whenever you inspect an element in the browser, you should understand what you are looking at. Think of locators as the address of the house. If you don't know the address, you can't reach the destination. Without locators, automation is impossible. Step 4. Learn Playwright. Now comes the exciting part. Playwright, the tool that completely changed my automation journey. Why did I choose Playwright? Because it's fast, modern, easy to learn, supports Chrome, Firefox, and Safari, and it's highly demanded in the job market. The first thing I learned was installation, launching browser, opening websites, clicking elements, entering text, and assertions. I still remember the excitement when my browser opened automatically and performed actions without me touching anything. That moment felt amazing. It was the proof that automation was working. Step 5. Convert manual test cases into automation. This is where everything started making sense. Instead of learning random examples from YouTube, I started automating the same test cases I executed daily. For example, login test cases, enter username, enter password, click on the login and verifying the dashboard. I simply converted those manual steps into Playwright code. Then I automated search functionality, registration, logout, and profile updates. This practical approach accelerated my learning. Step 6. Learn assertions. A lot of beginners think automation means clicking buttons. That's completely wrong. Automation means validation. Let me repeat that once again. The automation means validation. If your script only clicks buttons, it's not really a testing. Assertions tells us whether the application behaved correctly. For example, verify page title, verify text, verify successful login, verify button visibility. Assertions are what transforms actions into actual test case. Step 7. Learn framework design. Once I became comfortable writing scripts, I noticed a problem. My code was getting messy, and that's where I discovered framework design. I learned page object model, fixtures, reusable functions, data driven testing, and reporting. These concepts helped me to write a clear and maintainable automation code. And trust me, interviewers love candidates who understand framework concepts. Step 8. Learn Git and Jenkins. Many people stop after learning Playwright. That's really a big mistake everyone does. In real companies, automation is much bigger than writing scripts. I learned Git commands like git clone, git pull, git commit, git push, and git merge. Then I learned Jenkins. Jenkins helped me to understand how companies execute tests automatically. Developer pushes code, Jenkins run the test cases, reports are generated, and teams reviews the results. This is how automation works in the real world. Step 9. Build a real-time project. This is probably the most important advice in this video. Don't just watch tutorials. Build a real-time projects, for example, like e-commerce website, Orange HRM, SaaS demo, booking applications. Build a framework, generate reports, take screenshots and upload your code to GitHub. Now you are not just learning, you are building the experience. Step 10. Prepare for interviews. After learning all the concepts, it's time to prepare for interviews. The key to cracking interviews is understanding the concepts, not just memorizing the answers. Be ready for the questions like what is Playwright, what are locators, and how are they different from XPaths? What is the page object model? What are fixtures? How do weights work in Playwright? How do you run tests in parallel? How do you handle frames, multiple tabs, and file uploads? How do you debug failed Playwright tests? How do you generate HTML and Allure reports? Explain a real-time automation framework which you have built. If you truly understand the concepts, you will be able to answer both the theoretical and scenario-based questions with confidence. That's what makes interviews much easier.
Before we end, here's one final piece of advice. Never stop learning and never be afraid to start. Manual testing is your strength and automation is the next step to grow your career. If you found this video is helpful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to more software testing and automation testing content. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Happy learning.